Good evening, welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program this evening, will there ever be justice for the victims of the communal riots in Muzaffarnagar? First, there was violence, and now the desperate situation of being forced to leave the government's relief camps forcibly. A lot of people being told to leave have said that they don't have anywhere to go. So now many have just set up camps of their own. Will there ever be a true end to their suffering? Also coming up, a day after his Aam Aadmi Party came to power, Arvind Kejriwal delivers on one of his key election promises, free water for Delhi residents consuming about 700 litres per day. But the larger question remains, what do Delhiites need more, free water or water better supplied? And how exactly does Arvind intend to rid Delhi of the water mafia, which holds a monopoly in providing people in many areas tanker water, but at a considerable price? But first, our top story. After living for generations in their villages, thousands of riot victims in Muzaffarnagar became refugees of the bloody riots that claimed 65 lives. But despite the appalling conditions in relief camps attracting national attention and criticism, some of them have even lost their tented homes, and many are on the verge of being driven out of relief camps. Over the past 3 days, the camps have seen an exodus of families. People say they are not willing to leave, but have no choice because the administration wants them out.
अपनी मर्जी से कोई नहीं जा रहा। शासन जो हम मानते हैं ये हमारे ऊपर दबाव दे रहा है या लोही वालों के ऊपर दबाव दे रहा। जब चाहे हमें निकाल देते, जब चाहे हमें इधर डाल देते हैं। हाँ जी, बच्चे हैं।
अब जाओ, पीछे खड़े तो वही अच्छे लग रहे, जाओ उधर।
This is why the UP Chief Minister is on the back foot. This is what remains of the camp where families took refuge from the communal riots in September. Tents removed and the surface dug up. The government-run Loi camp in Muzaffarnagar has seen close to 167 families leave in the past 48 hours.
अपनी मर्जी से कोई नहीं जा रहा।
क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे फिर?
यहाँ पर जी अधिकारी आ रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं उठाओ जब मुआवजा मिलेगा।
38 years old, Momin has just managed to scramble together all his belongings to carry them out of the relief shelter. Originally from Fugana, he had taken shelter at this camp after the September riots. He has 12 children and a crippled father in his joint family, but nowhere to go.
अभी इसी टाइम तो हमें सिरा सीने से लगाने के अलावा दूसरा कुछ नहीं दिखता। इससे लगा हमें कुछ नहीं दिखता, हम कहाँ पे रखे, किस तरह रखे, कैसे तरीके से रखे।
The ones who are leaving say they have been promised help in terms of financial assistance later. But there are 80 families in this camp who are desperately holding on to their tents in the hope that they will be allowed to stay on till they get full compensation.
कुछ सोचा है आपने कि आगे कहाँ, मतलब कितने दिन यहाँ पे रहेंगे?
कहीं नहीं जाते, हमें बस यहाँ आए थे, हमें इनका नमक खा कर आराम नहीं करने के ही रहने।
After the media reported the eviction drive, today the bulldozers took a break. But now it increasingly seems like an all-out effort to clear the camps once and for all as soon as possible.
कई लोगों का बहुत पॉजिटिव रिस्पांस है। बाकी लोगों के बारे में भी ऐसा उम्मीद है कि जल्दी ही वो अपना फैसला वापस जाने का लेंगे। सुरक्षा का हम लोगों ने आश्वासन दिया है।
Today, the Chief Minister, already under flak for his handling of the riot refugees, said this to NDTV when asked about their eviction.
अरे आपसे तो हम बात ही नहीं करेंगे, हो गया, चलो जाओ। अब जाओ, पीछे खड़े तो वही अच्छे लग रहे, जाओ उधर। पीछे अच्छे लग रहे तो वहाँ खड़े हुए।
And just on Saturday, the Chief Minister, while at the Saifai festival, insists that those being asked to leave have been compensated and must move on with life.
विंडो पे आप एक तरफ सैफई महोत्सव दिखाओगे, दूसरी तरफ मुजफ्फरनगर दिखाओगे, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी मुजफ्फरनगर के लोगों को, पीड़ित लोगों को जो मदद कर सकते थे, जिनका नुकसान हुआ, वो हम लोगों ने किया है।
The scene has changed almost in 48 hours at this relief shelter at Muzaffarnagar, with hundreds of families being forced to move out within this time. The ones who remain, the ones who are left behind, face an uncertain future, saying that they have no idea where they are going to go next. With camera person Fahad and Anand Zanane from Lucknow, this is Tonima Biswas for NDTV.
And Tanima Biswas joins me now from that area where a lot of these families who are in relief camps have been asked to leave. Tanima, where are many of these families going now?
Right, what the government has told us is around 167 families have moved out of the Loy relief shelter, but where are they going? In fact, when we spoke to them, a lot of them had no idea. This is just around 3 kilometers away from the Loy relief shelter, and makeshift tents have again been put up by people over here who have been asked to go out of the relief shelter. There are no lights, no water, no toilet facilities in this area. People have just lit a bonfire to get some sort of warmth in this area. We'll try and go across and speak to some of the people. माजी, आप ये बताइए कि आप लोग आज लोई राहत शिविर से यहाँ पे आए हैं, अपने मर्जी से आए थे?
जी नहीं।
किस तरह से आपको लाया गया यहाँ पे?
जी डीएम नु का लगा जुग्गी पाड़ो जाओ, गामू में शिफ्ट हो जाओ, गामू में कहीं जगह नहीं मिली, हम यहाँ आ गए।
बट आप लोगों को कुछ पता था कि कहाँ पे जाएंगे, क्या करेंगे, कैसे रहेंगे?
नहीं जी, हमें कुछ नहीं पता था, बस एकदम ही जो वहाँ नीम खेड़ी है जगह, वहाँ जुग्गी गिर लेंगे।
बस आपको बोला गया था कि आप नीम खेड़ी चले जाइए। आप बताइए कि आप लोग भी अपने मर्जी से आए, आपके परिवार?
जी हाँ,
आप अपने मर्जी से आए। आपको क्या आश्वासन दिया गया था कि आप लोग अगर राहत शिविर छोड़ दे तो क्या होगा?
जी बस उन्होंने झुग्गी उठाने को कहा, हमने झुग्गी उठा ली अपनी।
पर मुआवजा के बारे में आपको कुछ बोला गया था?
जी बस ऐसे कहा मिल जाएगा।
एक बात बताइए सर कि बहुत लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं, उनको ये आश्वासन दिया गया है कि मुआवजा उनको मिल जाएगा अगर वो लोग राहत शिविर से बाहर कहीं और चले जाए, ऐसा आपके साथ भी हुआ?
जी।
क्या बोला गया था?
डीएम, एसडीएम और एडीओ ने बोला है कि परसों तक आपका मुआवजे में नाम आ जाएगा।
और आपको उन्होंने ये बोला कि राहत शिविर छोड़ने के बाद ऐसा होगा, या क्या बोला था उन्होंने?
बस राहत शिविर तो 3 महीने से लगे थे बेचारे पीछे, खाली करो खाली करो, आज हमने खाली कर दिया।
So some of them are saying that
लोई के अंदर रहे, इतना हम बहुत खुश रहे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई, कोई परेशानी नहीं आई।
यहाँ पे दिक्कत नहीं है, बारिश हो रही थी, यहाँ पे पानी
नहीं, हमारी किस्मत में था ये, ऐसा हो रहा तो हो गया, अब क्या करेंगे हम इसमें?
Some of them have resigned to their fate, and others are saying that they have in fact been assured compensation if they leave the relief camp. And in fact, the government had been trying to persuade them for quite some time. And today, it somehow worked out. We have also got information that the people who were in charge of these relief camps have also in fact told, for the first time, they have told and come out and tried to convince these people to leave, and which is why probably it's worked. For the past 24 hours or so, a lot of families have already left the relief shelter, but their future seems quite uncertain, and especially in this intense winter here at Uttar Pradesh, how they are going to survive with the bare minimum ration that has been given to them by the Uttar Pradesh government, and also it's extremely uncertain whether they will be able to stay in these makeshift tents for too long.
Tanima, what is the logic of the government asking these people to leave now when they don't want to go?
That's right. The government on their part is basically saying that it's not like they're abandoning these people. They claim that they are going to track down all these people. The relief shelter at Loy village was located on a government land, and they said that it was illegal occupation. But they did not force these people out for so long. That's what the government claims. They felt that they wanted to persuade the people to leave as much as possible. And now they have managed to actually bring on board the people who were in charge of these relief camps. It was not a government shelter. This was being run by the village chiefs of those areas. So the village chiefs have now been brought on board. They have been told that in case the compensation, those who have not been given, that's going to come their way. It is not like they are being abandoned, but for the moment, they would want the people to leave the relief shelters as quickly as possible. And wherever they are, the government is going to keep in touch with them. Food and ration for 1 week has been given to them, and follow-up measures will also come along the way. That's the assurance that the government has given, but a lot of people here are telling us that they have only agreed to move because they have been assured that compensation is going to come their way within 2 to 3 days. Vishnu?
So was there any threat, Tanima, that if they didn't leave, they wouldn't get compensation?
At the moment, Vishnu, we have not come across anyone who said that there was a threat, but there was a lot of a disorganized manner in which this entire exercise was carried out, because a lot of families that we met earlier in the day, they were essentially saying they had no idea where to go. Carts had been brought in, tempos had been hired by the government. They were all in place saying, okay, these many families are going to go to Burhana, which is another village which is around 10 kilometers away from here. Some other families can shift around 5 kilometers away from the relief shelter. So in an ad hoc manner, things had been arranged. Whether these families had actually been consulted or not, that's not clear. And in fact, a lot of them said they had no idea where they are going to go next. It's just that they had to pack up their belongings, load them on the tempo, get their family along and leave. And they would have to figure out their course as they go along. Just that the onus is, of course, that's what the government has assured them, that the onus is on the government to keep track of them and to figure out where they are in order to make sure that some facilities reach them. The ones who have been promised compensation, they should be compensated by the end of this week. And also, of course, they have to keep in mind that it's extremely cold here at Muzaffarnagar. There have been reports of children dying because of the weather conditions as well. They have to make sure, they have told the people at the relief shelter, those who are leaving, that they will take care.
Reports of children dying overnight? Fresh reports?
At the Loy relief shelter, there were no reports of children dying overnight, but around 6 to 7 children have already been reportedly died of the cold weather here at the Loy relief shelter. Vishnu?
Yes. Well, Tanima, thank you so much for bringing us that ground report and really showcasing or showing what is actually happening over there on the ground. The people behind Tanima Biswas out of that Loy shelter. But where are they? They're at a bus stand. Is that right, Tanima?
That's right, at a bus stand which is close to 2-3 kilometers away from the Loy relief shelter.
Tanima, thanks very much for joining us. Well, we're debating this. What is the logic in driving people out of relief shelters where there's an element of security, an element of protection? Joining us to debate this, Madhukar Jaitley, advisor to the UP government, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, spokesperson of the Congress party, Siddharth Nath Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, and with me in the studio, Sukumar Mulidharan, a member of the fact-finding panel on Muzaffarnagar. Thanks very much for being with us. Mr. Jaitley, these people, we just aired this report on them. They're out of Loy, the camp over there, and they're on the road. What's the logic in that?
You see, Vishnu, out of the total 500 families that were there in the Loy camp, around 60 families were remaining till yesterday who were actually not being able to be shifted to safer places. Now the interpretation that you are trying to raise is that the government is evicting them. The government is not at all evicting them. The fact is that in the winter season, when they were facing so much of problems of the weather, the government is trying to shift them to houses, to government buildings of schools and other places where they can be made to stay in safer places. The government is providing them 10 kilo ration to each and every family who is leaving from there, completely providing them, each and every person, free transportation of all their goods. And those people who have left from there are going to their relatives or to those places.
No, sir, they are not.
People who have taken a
Mr. Jaitley, there are 50 families. There are 50 families over there, 2 to about 3 kilometers away from the Loy relief camp, at a bus stand at Neemkheri village. They don't have anywhere to go to, sir. They're set up. They are staying over there.
Now listen to me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That those people who have taken a compensation package from the government, and they have taken the compensation package from the government, they are unable to go back to their villages again, and they are finding places to go, where to go. The government is in contact with them. The government will try and ensure that those people also should find a place, should be given a place to stay somewhere. Otherwise, the rest of the people, out of the 500 families, only 60 families which you are talking of are the ones that are not being able to be, and by tomorrow, give us some time, hopefully by tomorrow they will all be, you will find Muzaffarnagar completely camp free over there.
Siddharth Nath Singh, do you want to react to that? Camp free, Muzaffarnagar will be camp free by tomorrow.
Well, Vishnu, the government has received enough flack from the media, the opposition and everybody. What they are trying to do is, they want to show there are no relief camps now existing. We have compensated everybody, and there is the administration and the government has been very, very careful, and they have been caring to the riot victims. The reality speaks differently. It exposes the secular credentials. It exposes the administrative, handling by the Samajwadi Party. And please remember, there has been affidavit which the government has taken when the riot victims took 5 lakhs of rupees, and there in the affidavit it's been written and they have signed that you will not go back to your own land which they had left because of the riot, and you can go anywhere else. This is the type of affidavit which these people have taken from the riot victim. So the idea is to give a message or perception that there are no more camps existing and we have given the enough relief material, we have compensated, and so that the
Madhukar
media
Jaitley,
doesn't
reply to some
catch
of those
them again.
points, and also tell us, sir, was it necessary for bulldozers to exist in some of those camps? Was it necessary to tell people in these camps of illegal occupation of land and therefore bulldozers were being used? I mean, it intimidates people, sir. That's the point.
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Jaitley.
Yeah. Can you repeat your question? I could not hear your question.
Sir, why were bulldozers used in those camps?
No, you see, Vishnu, you are misinterpreting the situation again. Bulldozer, nobody was bulldozed. No loss of life has taken place because of these.
Sir, don't bulldozers intimidate people living in a relief camp?
No, if
they don't, sir.
You see, if the camps have to be after they have been shifted, if the bulldozers might have been used, I have no idea because I have not seen any of those places being bulldozed, except that the fact that those people have been shifted to under the package rehabilitation plan. They have been given places to stay in the houses and the government schools. Their children have been admitted. Their children have been admitted to schools, enrolled in schools, in Anganwadi schools.